Hi, I'm Dulcie. I've been working as a marketing specialist at Crawford Agency for 3 years now, and I just landed the Riverside account last week. Not that my family would know or care. My phone's been buzzing all morning with texts from my mother, each one more demanding than the last. You coming for Sunday dinner or what? Alicia already confirmed? I put my phone face down on my desk and massaged my temples. The quarterly report wouldn't finish itself, and I'd already promised my boss it would be on his desk by end of day. Your mom again? Vanessa leaned against my cubicle wall, coffee mug in hand. She'd been witnessing this circus since college. Who else? Apparently, I'm required at another mandatory family dinner where she'll spend 3 hours criticizing my life choices. You could always say no. Yeah, and deal with the fallout for months. It's just easier to show up, smile, and leave early. My phone buzzed again, this time from my brother. Mom's on the warpath. Did you forget to call her on Tuesday? Marco, I swear, I had a client presentation that ran late. I texted her. You know texts don't count. Just call her before she drags me into it more than she already has. This was typical Marco, trying to keep the peace while simultaneously pushing me to fall in line. At least he acknowledged our mother's behavior, unlike my sister. Dulcie, are you seriously skipping Mom's birthday lunch next weekend? Alicia's text arrived right on cue. She's really upset. You always do this. I hadn't even known about a birthday lunch. That's how it worked in our family. I'd be expected to attend events I was never actually invited to, then berated for not showing up. First I'm hearing about it, I replied. Whatever. She said she told you weeks ago. Just be there. Vanessa watched me toss my phone into my purse with a sigh. Your sister's still drinking the Kool-Aid? Alicia thinks the sun rises and sets on my mother's command. Always has. Later that night, I finally finished my report and was heating up leftover pasta when my phone lit up with a group text. My mother had included Alicia, Marco, and even my Uncle Raymond, who she barely spoke to. I've been thinking about the family situation. Dulcie constantly disappoints us and never prioritizes family. We've all noticed the pattern of selfishness. After discussing it with Alicia and others, we no longer trust you to be part of important family matters. My hands trembled as I read it. Classic mom, broadcasting her disappointment while pretending it was a group decision. I could already picture Alicia nodding along, Marco uncomfortably staying silent, and Uncle Raymond wondering why he was even included. For years, I defended myself, apologized, tried harder. Not tonight. I typed back a single word. Understood. Then I blocked her number, blocked Alicia, and turned off my phone. The silence felt like the first real breath I'd taken in years. The next morning, my phone was flooded with voicemails from Marco. I listened to them while getting ready for work. Dulcie, what the hell? Mom's freaking out. She says you blocked her. Call me back. Seriously, pick up. Alicia's blowing up my phone too. This is getting out of hand. I tossed my phone on the bed and finished my makeup. Part of me felt guilty, but mostly I felt lighter. Like I'd finally put down a heavy backpack I'd been carrying for years. At the office, Vanessa cornered me by the coffee machine. You look different today. What happened after our talk? I blocked my mother. And Alicia. Her eyes widened. Holy shit. What finally did it? I showed her the group text. Vanessa read it and handed the phone back with a low whistle. That's some next-level manipulation. Classic move. Making it seem like everyone's against you when it's just her. Remember my college graduation? How no one showed up because supposedly I told them not to come. Yeah, you were devastated. I found out later that Mom told Alicia and Marco that I didn't want them there because I was embarrassed by them. Told them I was having a private celebration with friends instead. That's messed up. Or the time Alicia didn't speak to me for months because Mom told her I said her husband was cheating. I never said that. I barely knew the guy. I pulled up old texts from Marco as evidence. Look at this from last Christmas. Marco texting me angry because Mom told him I said his kids were out of control. I never even saw his kids that year. Your mother's like a puppet master, Vanessa said, scrolling through the messages. During lunch, I created a folder on my laptop labeled Receipts and started compiling screenshots of contradictory messages from my mother over the years. Remember when Uncle Raymond stopped coming to family events? I asked Vanessa over video chat that evening. Vaguely. Your mom said he had drinking problems, right? That's what she told everyone. But I ran into him at the grocery store last year, and he seemed completely fine. No signs of any addiction issues. You think she pushed him out too? I'm starting to think it's a pattern. Anyone who doesn't follow her rules gets isolated. My phone buzzed with a text from Marco. Alicia says you're trying to ruin Mom's birthday on purpose. What's going on with you lately? I didn't respond. Instead, I pulled up a 5-year-old email where Mom had written that she couldn't count on Dulcie for anything important after I missed a family photo because I was in the hospital with food poisoning. The evidence kept mounting. 3 hours later, I had a document filled with contradictions, lies, and manipulations. Times when Mom had told Alicia one thing and Marco another. Times when she'd claimed I'd said things I never did. I found Uncle Raymond's number in an old email and stared at it for a long time before typing out a message. Hi, Uncle Raymond. It's Dulcie. I know we haven't spoken much lately, but I'm trying to understand some family dynamics better. I think you might have insights that could help me. Would you be willing to talk? His response came quicker than I expected. Dulcie, I've been waiting for this call for years. Your mother did to you what she did to me. I'll tell you everything. Coffee tomorrow? I felt a strange mix of validation and grief as I typed back, name the place. I met Uncle Raymond at a small coffee shop downtown. He looked older than I remembered, with more gray in his beard, but his eyes lit up when he saw me. Dulcie, it's been too long. You look just like your grandmother. Thanks for meeting me. I'm trying to make sense of everything. Uncle Raymond stirred his coffee slowly. Your mother has always needed to control the narrative. When I questioned her about taking Grandma's jewelry before anyone else could even see it, she told everyone I was trying to steal the family heirlooms. That's not what we heard. Mom said you were angry about not getting the house. See? Different stories for different people. When did you start noticing the pattern? I showed him my folder of evidence. I've been collecting these contradictions for years without realizing what they meant. Look at this text to Alicia claiming I refused to help with Mom's surgery recovery, while simultaneously texting Marco that I was too busy with my fancy job to care about family. Meanwhile, I'm guessing she never actually asked you for help? Bingo. I only found out she had surgery after the fact. After leaving Uncle Raymond, I called Marco and suggested meeting for lunch. He sounded suspicious, but agreed. What's this really about, Dulcie? Mom's beside herself over this birthday thing. What exactly did she tell you about that? That you RSVP'd yes, then deliberately no-showed to hurt her. I pulled out my phone. Interesting, because I have all our texts. She never invited me. His expression changed as he scrolled through the messages. But she specifically said, "This doesn't make sense." It does if she's been playing us against each other for years. I showed him more evidence. Contradictory stories, manufactured conflicts, altered timelines. Jesus, Dulcie, if this is true, what about the time you supposedly said my wife wasn't good enough for me? Never happened. But let me guess, it caused a huge fight between you two. 6 months of tension. Alicia backed up Mom's story too. Because Mom probably told Alicia I said something equally awful about her. Getting Alicia to meet was harder, but eventually she agreed to coffee, bringing her typical attitude. I only have 30 minutes. Mom's really hurt by your behavior. Did Mom ever tell you I said your husband was cheating? Her coffee cup froze midway to her lips. How did you know about that? I laid out the evidence methodically. At first, Alicia was defensive, but as the patterns emerged, her certainty wavered. So the Christmas where you didn't show up? I was never invited. Check your text from Mom that day. She probably told you I was being selfish again. The real confrontation came when Mom showed up unannounced at my apartment, all wounded dignity and tears. After everything I've done for you, this is how you repay me? Turning your brother and sister against me? Interesting accusation, considering that's exactly what you've been doing to us for years. Her expression changed just for a second. Surprise, then calculation. I don't know what you're talking about. I've only ever wanted what's best for this family. Save it. I have the receipts, literally. Every contradictory story, every lie, all documented. She shifted tactics immediately, tears drying up. You've always been so sensitive, taking everything the wrong way. I'm hosting dinner next Saturday. Everyone's coming. Marco, Alicia, Uncle Raymond. I think it's time we all got on the same page, don't you? Her face paled slightly. There's no need for that. We can resolve this just between us. Too late. It's already arranged. Saturday evening arrived, and I'd spent all day preparing. Not just the food, though I'd made Mom's favorite lasagna as a strategic choice, but organizing my evidence into a clear presentation. Vanessa helped me set up a projector in my dining room. You sure you want me here for this nuclear family meltdown? Vanessa asked, arranging wine glasses. I need at least one person who doesn't think I'm crazy. Marco arrived first with his wife. This feels like walking into an ambush, he muttered, accepting a beer. Only if you have something to hide, I replied. Alicia came next, tension visible in her shoulders. Is Mom coming? She wasn't answering my texts today. Oh, she'll be here. Uncle Raymond brought a bottle of whiskey. Figured we might need something stronger than wine before the night's over. When Mom finally arrived, her entrance was pure theater martyr smile firmly in place, bearing a store-bought cake like a peace offering. I wasn't sure what this dinner was really about, but I never show up empty-handed. Once everyone was seated with plates of food barely touched, I stood up. Thanks for coming. I know this seems strange, but I've discovered something important that affects all of us. I clicked to the first slide, a side-by-side comparison of texts, where Mom told Marco I refused to help with Grandma's care, while simultaneously telling me that Marco thought I should stay out of it. What is this? Mom interrupted, voice sharp. Evidence. For years, you've been telling each of us different stories about the others, creating conflicts that never existed. I moved through more examples methodically. Mom telling Alicia I criticized her parenting while telling me Alicia blamed me for a family argument. Screenshots of birthday invitations sent to everyone except the person who supposedly chose not to come. Alicia's fork clattered against her plate. Is this why you told me Dulcie said those things about James cheating? I never said that, I confirmed. This is ridiculous. Mom stood up, hands shaking. You're manipulating these messages to make me look bad. These are unedited screenshots, Uncle Raymond said quietly. Same things she did to me years ago. Marco leaned forward. So when you said Dulcie called my kids spoiled brats? Never happened, I confirmed. Mom switched tactics instantly. You're all ganging up on me after everything I've sacrificed. Classic deflection, Vanessa murmured. I projected a timeline showing how family relationships deteriorated after specific lies from Mom. The pattern's undeniable, I said. Anytime any of us got too close or questioned her authority, she'd isolate that person by turning everyone else against them. Alicia was crying silently. 6 years. I barely spoke to Dulcie for 6 years because I thought... Marco reached across the table for my hand. I'm so sorry I believed her. We all did, Uncle Raymond said. That was the design. Mom made one last, desperate attempt. This is absurd. Dulcie has always been jealous of the family connection. She's trying to destroy us. The silence that followed told me everything. No one was buying it anymore. 3 months later, Alicia and I meet weekly for coffee. Marco and his family come over for dinner regularly. Uncle Raymond is teaching me to make Grandma's famous tamales from her recipe. Mom still sends occasional texts from new numbers since I've blocked her repeatedly. Yesterday's said, I'm truly sorry for any misunderstandings. Can we talk about fixing our family? I didn't bother responding. The family is already fixed. She's just not part of it anymore. What would you do if you discovered your own parent had been deliberately turning you against your siblings for years? Would you completely cut them off like Dulcie did? Or would you give them a chance to truly make amends after exposing their manipulation? The most difficult part of toxic relationships is often deciding when to walk away permanently versus when to allow someone the opportunity to change. Share your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this story of family drama and sweet revenge, hit that like button and subscribe for more compelling stories that make you think. New videos every day.